Most people believe they know God. But what if the God you think you know has been hidden from you? What if the version of God you are comfortable with is only a shadow of the one the Bible actually reveals? Stay with me, because once you hear this, you may never think about God the same way again. In the beginning, there was no sound, no light, no movement, no time, only God, not created, not learning, not becoming, He simply was. Before angels had wings, before stars had names, before the earth had shape, God existed in terrifying completeness. He needed nothing, He lacked nothing, He depended on no one. And then, He spoke. Not loudly, not emotionally. Authority does not shout, and with a single command, reality obeyed. Darkness did not resist. Chaos did not argue. Nothing dared to delay. Light burst into existence instantly, not gradually. Oceans tore themselves apart at His word. The sky stretched out like fabric. The earth locked into position as if nailed by invisible hands. This is the God the Bible introduces. Not negotiable, not uncertain, not safe. Yet as humanity appeared, something strange happened. People began to forget who God really was. They saw His blessings but ignored His holiness. They enjoyed His mercy but dismissed His authority. They wanted His protection but not His presence. And the Bible records what happens when humans misunderstand God. When God descended on Mount Sinai, the mountain shook violently. Smoke filled the air, fire consumed the peak, thunder roared so loudly the people begged Moses to speak instead of God. They were terrified, not because God was evil, but because they realized how small they were. They realized that sin cannot stand comfortably near holiness. They realized that God was not like them. And this realization scared them more than anything else. So they asked for distance. And God allowed it. But distance has consequences. As generations passed, people replaced reverence with routine. Worship became habit, obedience became optional, God became familiar, and familiarity bred carelessness. Then came the ark, a symbol of God's presence so holy it could not be touched. And when someone reached out casually, instinctively, to steady it, their life ended instantly. No warning, no delay. This shocks many people, but it reveals something terrifying. God does not change to fit human comfort. His holiness does not weaken with time. Then there is Job, a righteous man, faithful, upright, yet when suffering came, Job questioned God. And when God finally answered, he did not explain himself. He asked questions. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Job fell silent, because in the presence of divine reality, human arguments collapse. Then there are the prophets, men who heard God's voice and trembled. Men who delivered messages that made kings shake. Men who sometimes begged God to choose someone else. Because encountering God was not empowering. It was overwhelming. Isaiah saw God and thought he would die. Ezekiel saw visions so strange and terrifying he fell face down repeatedly. Daniel encountered God and lost strength in his body. This pattern never changes. When humans truly encounter God, fear always comes first. Then Jesus arrives. And this is where the mystery deepens. Because God does not arrive in fire. He arrives as a baby. Silent, vulnerable, hidden, but do not be fooled. The holiness is still there. Demons recognize him instantly and tremble. Storms obey him. Death reverses itself at his command. He speaks and eternity responds. Yet people misunderstand him again. They think kindness equals weakness. Until he speaks of judgment. Until he speaks of hell. Until he speaks of a narrow path. Jesus warns that many will be shocked on the final day. They believed. They spoke his name. They did religious things. But they never surrendered. And then comes the cross. The darkest moment in human history. God allows himself to be beaten by his own creation. Blood falls to the ground that he once spoke into existence. The sky darkens not in sympathy, but in judgment. This is not softness. This is the cost of holiness. Sin is so serious that it requires death. And God chooses to pay it himself. The earth shakes. Graves open. The veil tears. Access is granted, but not cheaply. And one day, the Bible says, this same Jesus will return. Not quietly, not hidden, not as a servant, but as a king. The sky will open, the dead will rise, secrets will be exposed, no filters, no excuses, no pretending, and every human will finally understand the truth that was always there. God was never small, God was never weak, God was never just an idea. He was holy, and the most shocking truth of all is this. This holy God still invites humanity to know him. Not casually, not falsely, but truthfully, because knowing the real God does not make life easier. It makes it real, and once you see him as he truly is, you cannot unsee him.